Straight ahead on 12 News, a first-of-its-kind lawsuit involving a Brooklyn Park woman. Then, diving into an issue that has provoked a lot of discussion, but perhaps not the money to pay for it. But first,
it's too hard to cross that street the way that it is.
A school bus accident injures 2 students. What parents say should be done about it. 12 News starts right now. A Wayzata High School student is recovering from surgery after he and another boy were hit by a school bus. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. The accident happened Monday afternoon at a crosswalk at 41st and Vicksburg Lane, just outside Plymouth Creek Elementary. A parent whose children go to Plymouth Creek tells our Renee Bonneau it was only a matter of time before a crash happened there.
I've seen several very close calls. I've seen cars swerving to the other side of the road.
Beth Corning says despite the signs and a school nearby, traffic at 41st and Vicksburg can be pretty dangerous.
They're driving and they're minding their own business, just driving and not paying attention to anybody else around them.
She says it's gotten even trickier since Wayzata High School's track team started training last week.
It's kind of sad.
She says every afternoon, like clockwork, runners make their way across Vicksburg Lane.
They obey the crosswalk. They cross at the crosswalk every day. You see them. I know they're there. I know to look out for them if I'm going to be driving there.
Plymouth police say a school bus driver didn't see the group of about a dozen runners crossing Vicksburg at about 3:30 Monday afternoon.
This school bus was in the right lane and going northbound in the right lane and didn't see the runners because of the school buses and other vehicles stopped in the left lane.
One student was hit with the bus's side mirror and wasn't badly injured.
The other one was struck by the bus and then ended up with a leg underneath the front right wheel of the bus when the officers arrived.
That student, Wayzata freshman Alec O'Connell, went through surgery to repair his broken leg. He's recovering at North Memorial Medical Center. Police say the driver of the school bus was cited for failing to drive with due care.
It's definitely an issue.
Beth Corning says the city should consider putting up traffic lights or a stop sign to prevent this from happening in the future.
It's too hard to cross that street the way that it is.
Plymouth police says their investigation continues. As far as the school district is concerned, the Wayzata High School athletic director tells me they will review this incident and make sure everybody did everything correctly and that the school responded appropriately. In Plymouth, Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
With colder temperatures this week, slippery spots are showing up where drivers least expect them. A Brooklyn Center man was ticketed after crashing his car into the All-American Recreation Store on County Road 81 in Brooklyn Park. He told 12 News he was on his way to North Hennepin Community College when he hit a patch of ice and lost control. No one was hurt.
A 23-year-old Brooklyn Park woman is the first in the state to sue a Twin Cities pain clinic for using contaminated steroids. Tracy Mocco filed the suit against a medical advanced pain specialist after getting 2 tainted steroid injections last summer. She was hospitalized for 10 days with fungal meningitis, a potentially deadly infection of the brain and spinal cord. Her lawyer says the drug she's on now to treat the meningitis also has side effects.
It does leave you with, at times, with hallucinations, visual disturbances. It puts you at risk for liver damage. It puts you at risk for developing skin cancer. And she will be on these drugs for quite some time.
And Tracy Mocco is one of more than 700 people nationwide who developed fungal meningitis from contaminated steroids traced to a Massachusetts facility. That facility was not licensed in Minnesota to sell in bulk. A statement from the Minnesota clinic involved says it doesn't comment on specific litigation, but communicated with its patients and sought to address concern when that drug was being recalled last year.
A jury has found a California woman guilty of stealing credit card information from local gas pumps. The 28-year-old woman and her husband were originally pulled over for speeding by Plymouth police. Police then found devices for making fraudulent credit cards, a handwritten list of Twin Cities gas stations, and keys for opening gas pumps. A criminal complaint says the couple installed credit card skimming devices at local gas stations, including the Shell station at 36th Avenue South in New Hope. The investigation revealed more than 400 people had their credit card information stolen. The debate over how to pay back an $800 million debt to schools and overcome the budget deficit is heating up at the state capitol.
House Democrats announced a new proposal today. It would push the top 1% of Minnesota earners into a new tax bracket. Republicans quickly argued that would make Minnesota uncompetitive. It's a temporary tax that would come on top of an expected permanent increase in tax rates for the wealthy. The plan announced by House leadership would also give more schools money for all-day kindergarten programs and beef up a property tax refund program.
To make sure we get off this roller coaster that we've been on for the last 10 years. We still had $627 million remaining in terms of the deficit. This budget resolves that, puts us on firm footing.
What we're doing here again is making Minnesota one of the highest tax states in the nation, and frankly, we're at the cost of job opportunities for hardworking Minnesotans. So it's obviously the wrong move.
The plan includes $1 billion in new spending. The income tax surcharge would apply to people who earn more than $500,000 a year. DFL supporters say the tax would expire in 2 years or less when schools are paid back, and they would not say what the tax rate for that level would be.
It's been an on-again, off-again discussion for decades. Should Brooklyn Park have its own community swimming pool? Right now, the city rents space for swim lessons at Jackson Middle School and Brooklyn Junior, but there's limited availability, and that's prompting another discussion. Brooklyn Park is taking another lap on the issue of whether to build a community pool.
Nice, attractive aquatic facility of some kind is a great attraction to residents, to businesses. It's a symbol of a vital and invigorating community that people value health and wellness and activity.
The city council doesn't disagree a pool would bring value to the city, but they're not ready to take the plunge and pay for it.
I would love to see an aquatic feature in the city of Brooklyn Park, but I don't want one that's owned and run by the city.
I would like to have it. But I'm very, very concerned about the money.
Costs could range from $200,000 for a small wading pool to more than $10 million for a larger scale water park. But it would be much less expensive if the city could partner with the YMCA or a group called Aquaplex. Both nonprofits are interested in building an aquatic facility.
From my opinion, we need to start thinking bigger, and it's quite clear that the appetite is there for something like this.
I won't do anything that's not a partnership.
In the end, the council voted 6-1 in favor of pursuing some sort of aquatic facility in Brooklyn Park.
We heard a lot about partnering with another agency or another entity.
Recreation and Parks Director John Oyanagi says it's clear the council isn't interested in paying the full tab on a pool, but pursuing a partnership is the direction they're now headed.
I imagine it'll be pursuit of talks with the YMCA. There's a group called Aquaplex that's looking at a 50-meter competitive pool. So I imagine we'll be pursuing some of those avenues because they're still active and vibrant right now.
According to the city, the YMCA may be interested in building a facility in northern Brooklyn Park. The group Aquaplex is interested in a possible location in the southern part of the city. Up next, why mind over matter really does matter when it comes to your fitness goals.
That's coming up next in Health Check. And then later in sports, Park Center is set for its third appearance in the state boys basketball tournament.
But first, it's a look at your chilly AccuWeather forecast. The thought of pushing yourself to the limit in a marathon or a triathlon can be pretty intimidating.
But it doesn't have to be if you work up to it. In today's Health Check report, Elaine Cleveland shows us one activity that people can use as a stepping stone to reach some of their long-term athletic goals.
Fitness is a big part of Renee Gold's life.
It really strengthens your heart.
The Plymouth resident works out about every other day.
I'll warm up with just a nice steady run.
But there comes a point for athletes when repetition becomes boring.
Athletics is a mental game.
Which is why she's pushing herself to do an indoor triathlon this weekend.
You got to change it up. And sometimes you have to shock your body to do that. And it feels really good. And you set a goal and you complete that goal.
The indoor tri consists of a 10-minute swim, a 30-minute bike ride in the cycle studio,
So my goal, it's a 20-minute run.
and wraps up with a 20-minute run on the treadmill.
It is just such a fabulous event to take the fear factor out of doing a competition.
According to event organizers, an indoor tri is something that people of all fitness levels can do as long as they have the proper training.
It is a good introduction to the sport of what a triathlon is, of multi-sport. And for our seasoned triathletes, it's a great opportunity for training and to see the results and how they can improve.
It's social, you're burning calories.
Seeing improvement is Renee's #1 goal in what will be her 3rd indoor tri, especially when it comes to swimming.
My personal goal is to just do 1 or 2 more laps, more than I did the last time.
A good mindset when a negative mentality is considered the biggest obstacle.
Our minds stop us more than anything, that our bodies will do more than we know they will. So it is to get over that mental hurdle of it and just let your body do its thing.
Renee will let her body do its thing when the indoor tri kicks off on Sunday morning.
There's just no intimidation, and it's just a fabulous event.
In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
100 people will take part in Sunday's indoor triathlon at the Lifetime Fitness in Plymouth, and each of the participants will be asked to donate $50 to help support Special Olympics. Well, still ahead, why a famous groundhog may need to start looking for a new job.
But first in sports, a couple of the top boys basketball players in our area earned a big honor. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back.
It's on to the state basketball tournament this week, and Park Center sounds like they have their sights set pretty high on this thing.
They do, and they're one of the favorites in the tournament. Came out of a tough section, and we'll find out starting Wednesday afternoon. The state boys basketball tournament wraps up the winter high school sports season. As Jay Wilcox reports, Park Center is excited to be in the Class 4A tournament, but not satisfied with just making the tourney field.
Inbounding to Hooker, and the Pirates win it. It wasn't so long ago that Park Center qualifying for the state tournament in boys basketball would have been a long shot. For the seniors who were talented up-and-comers a couple of seasons ago, it's been a rewarding journey.
It's been really fun. I tell you, it's a lot of hard work, but it was really, 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 really worth it, I promise.
To see this all come alive has been great. We've worked hard in the off-season, put numerous hours in, countless. I mean, can't even put into, total of how many hours we put in the off season. Worked hard in practice. We became more of a family during this journey.
The Pirates have seen plenty of good competition, and they handed the top seed for the 4A tourney, Apple Valley, its only loss. Getting supreme tests from Cooper and Osseo in section play can only help.
Yeah, just knowing that, and that we took down the team that's normally there almost all the year, they're strong every year. Just knowing that we took them down just makes it even more better.
Having good games gets you ready, and going into the state tournament, you want to play good games. You want to have close games with good competition that has helped you get yourself focused and get yourself ready. So those 2 games really helped us. I don't know if it's battle tested, because I think we've been tested all year long with a lot of different teams, because as I tell everybody all the time, we are in the toughest conference in the state.
Wow, he ran from about the top of the key. Number 2 seed Park Center opens with last year's state runner-up Lakeville North.
Well, they're, of course, a good team, making it to state. They have JP McCura, shooter, scorer, and then we know that they're a solid team. We're going to have to prepare for them. Like any other team, it's going to be higher stakes and everything, playing at the Target Center, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
For the Pirates, getting to the tournament is great, but the job isn't done. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
Lakeville North and Park Center hit the court at 2 p.m. Wednesday in the state quarterfinals. You can watch the game on Channel 12 Thursday morning at 9 or Thursday or Friday night at 11 p.m. after Channel 45's tournament coverage. Quinton Hooker has been the Pirates' go-to player for the past couple of years. The senior is now recognized as one of the Metro and State's best players. Hooker was named to the Star Tribune's All-Metro First Team, and it's also been announced as one of 5 finalists for the Mr. Basketball Award, given annually to the state's top senior. Hooker is averaging over 23 points per game, while being close to averaging in double digits for both assists and rebounds as well. Also named to the first-team All-Metro squad is Robbinsdale Cooper High School junior Rashad Vaughn. Vaughn averaged 28.8 points and 10.2 rebounds per game for the North Suburban Conference champion Hawks, and is one of the state's top recruits from the class of 2014. Reed Travis of De La Salle, another junior, is the Metro Player of the Year. Ian Tyson of Osseo was named second-team All-Metro, while Jake Wright of Hopkins is a third-team pick. And be sure to tune in for our Channel 12 Sports Jam all-area teams in boys and girls basketball and boys and girls hockey. That's on this coming Monday through Wednesday on Sports Jam. The University of Minnesota women's hockey team will try to cap an unbeaten season this weekend as they skate for a second straight national title. On this week's Sports Jam show here on Channel 12, we profile Gophers senior and 2009 Hopkins High School graduate Becky Kortum. Here's a clip from that story. Becky is Minnesota's fifth leading scorer this season with 14 goals and 17 assists. After netting 14 goals as a sophomore, illness and injury limited Kortum to just 5 points in her trying junior season.
Last year was a big struggle for me, I mean, I had mono and then I'm back and then I break my collarbone right before our team's about to win a national championship. So, I mean, those struggles were hard at the time, but I think they make you a stronger person and they made me a stronger player, I think, too, because now I go to the rink every day and I cherish every moment, the way that I should, and I never did before.
It's been great. I mean, there's nothing worse than being injured and not feeling a part of it. But Becky came back stronger and she's been just rock solid for us, both points-wise, but leadership-wise as well.
Watch the rest of the Becky Kortum story and more on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday here on Channel 12, and they will skate the national semifinals Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock at Ritter Arena.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, are your coworkers a little crabby?
Up next, the reason for that when we come back. Finally, your calendar is not lying. Spring does start on Wednesday.
Here's a little reminder of what you were doing last year at this time. For some people, their golf game was already in full swing. Temperatures reached 70 degrees, setting records. Instead, this year we are waking up to sub-zero wind chills, and that snowpack will likely still be around when the Twins open up the baseball season at Target Field in just 2 weeks. And whoever trusts in Punxsutawney Phil, just remember this, he predicted an early spring. So do what you will with that information.
Turns out to be one of the latest springs in like over 10 years, something like that.
Ready for the warmer weather.
And we are done with it.
We're done, that's right, we've had it.
We're done with winter.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next. See you back here again tomorrow.